As we celebrate 30 years of renewed diplomatic relations, it's good to recall the actions taken by officials in both our countries to bring that about. As Albania started to emerge from its criminally self-imposed Stalinist nightmare, courageous individuals there moved to make that renewal happen. Likewise, in the U.S., smart officers in the Department of State and elsewhere in our administration chose to set aside decades of vituperation directed our way and used the opening as well. The Albanian service of the Voice of America played a critical role both in getting accurate information into Albania and monitoring developments there and sharing that information in Washington. The first team of U.S. representatives arrived in Tirana ahead of the first multi-party elections in March 1991. I did not arrive until late April, intending to be there for a month or two until permanent staff for the embassy could be identified and assigned. The day after my arrival, I went to the foreign ministry to pay a courtesy call. Told there that I would not be allowed to attend sessions of parliament, I protested. When that had no discernible effect, I told my interlocutor that my government protested, again with no immediate effect. The next morning, however, I got a phone call telling me I could attend and that I could bring my interpreter. I concluded that while there might be some resistance, pushing to overcome it was worth doing. During my initial time there, operating out of a hotel room, I witnessed the extraordinary welcome afforded Secretary of State Baker when he visited in June of 1991. Although I served there until October 1994, after December 1991 with the title of ambassador, one of the most telling moments came during Baker's visit. While the secretary spoke, I was standing, appropriately, near the vehicles of the motorcade next to a tall, gruff policeman. As Baker said, "We are with you and you're with us," I watched a tear roll down the cheek of that cop. Albanians in great numbers, roughly 10% of the country's population, came to Skanderbeg Square to cheer his presence. They showed themselves they could finally demonstrate for something in which they believed, rather than turning out as ordered by local authorities. The political effect of that was stunning. There were many changes of Albania during my 3.5 years, most, but not all, for the better. 400 years of foreign occupation and a half-century of self-isolation take a lot of work to undo. Democracies, including our own, are ever works in progress. There was never any doubt that both countries shared the same hopes: a free and prosperous Albania at peace with its neighbors. In many discussions with political figures in Tirana, it was clear that U.S. and Albanian interests were nowhere in conflict. I've followed developments in Albania since my retirement, and from what I see, continue to be convinced that Albania is on the right track. Setbacks, including natural disasters, will inevitably happen, but I am sure that with our continued mutual cooperation, they will be overcome. Uroj sukseset e mëtejshëm në rrugën e vështirë drejt demokracisë. Miru dëgjofshim.